our new sponsor, Deep Creek Glassworks. Well, for any type of gifts, there's a lot of different options. You can do glass pendants, glass straws, marbles, wine glasses, beer glasses. You're getting some good quality glass. It is very durable, fast shipping in crush-resistant boxes. So you know your product's going to get there. As an extra bonus to our listeners, you can get 10% off of your purchase by using the promo code SUPERFUN when you go to their website. That's Deep Creek Glassworks, WORX.etsy.com. And you'll be supporting local business as well.
Welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Find us on Facebook.com/SuperFunPodcast, Twitter.com/SuperFunPodcast, Patreon.com/SuperFunPodcast, Instagram @SuperFunPodcastGo, iTunes @Superfun Game Review Podcast Go. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go! Tonight, we have Harry.
Peak of Fire.
And to my right, we have Ralph. Jesus.
Keep down your lunch, man.
Hup, hup, skank!
What about a skank?
Yeah.
That's what Link says.
Hup, hup, skank! Hey! And I'm your host tonight, Clark.
That's Donkey Kong. DK Donkey Kong.
No.
He's the leader of the bunch.
No.
You know him well.
All right, so tonight we are going to be doing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Ultimate Falcon Punch.
Falcon Punch! I'm
Falcon.
actually surprised you didn't use that, Harry.
Falcon.
It's all good.
Yeah, so let's get into initial impressions. Ralph?
Well, when it comes to Smash Brothers, I can't take away the time that I spent with my friend John, who lives up in Canada. He and I would play Melee for hours and hours and hours and hours. Late high school, early college is when that game was just everything. I'd have some people over, we'd all play, but a lot of times it was just him and me, Final Destination, Stock 7, again and again and again. We got very competitive with it, but I've never played in like any kind of tournaments or anything because Smash has this huge, not even underground now, like a huge esports community. And if you go to like a local like used game store, not any big chain or anything, they usually have Smash tournaments as like something they do on the side on the weekends just for fun to get people in the store. To me, I had Brawl. I didn't really love it. I mean, I played it, but I ended up trading it, which is kind of strange now in hindsight. I did get Smash for the Wii U, and I played that and enjoyed it, but nowhere near as much as Melee. This one seems to just continue the path of success that they've had with this whole franchise. Every game has been a joy to play, and this one, even if it is just like a reskin of 4, because I'm just going to call Smash Wii U 3DS Smash 4, the added content that they've thrown in here makes a rebuy worth it.
Harry, do you have any initial impressions?
So, I mean, the two that I really played were the original for 64 and Melee for the GameCube. I don't have actually really any experience outside of that. I've watched a couple people play. I've seen some of these tournaments at the game stores. I mean, just playing this game earlier today, though, like it feels like they stayed true to their roots of the franchise, though. Like they haven't gone through any crazy, complete overhauls of the franchise. Like the same concept is pretty much the same there. So I'm glad they stuck with it because I think everybody like anybody who played the 64 version will still find enjoyment in the franchise today.
So this is my first Smash Brothers that I've owned. I've had a GameCube, I had a Wii, I never bought any of the other Nintendo consoles, except for like, Super Nintendo. But yeah, I've been playing it all weekend, and I think it's fantastic. I've played the other ones. I have some experience with all of them, actually. But I honestly think this is probably the best.
You could say it's the ultimate Smash Brothers. What about PlayStation All-Stars? You played that, right?
I did play PlayStation.
Is that part of this
All-Stars.
franchise?
No.
Are you sure?
It's not Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, right. Of course, I get him confused. Sorry. Whoops.
He's retarded.
Oops. I hate to say it.
I'm not joking.
The cliche, though, that Sony likes to do what Nintendo does, just a little bit poorer. No, a little bit poorer.
I never even heard of PlayStation All-Stars. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
It's a thing.
no, it
They've
is.
got like Nathan Drake and Crash Bandicoot fighting on platforms, launching each other off. Yeah, they totally tried to do.
God of War,
They tried to make
Kratos,
Smash Brothers for the PlayStation, and it
Parappa the
Is it on
Rapper.
PS4?
It's on PS3. It's actually not a terrible game. A lot of people like shit on it, but it's actually not a terrible game.
Well, it's like a stolen concept, so I
Yeah.
get why people would easily shit on
Oh
it.
yeah. Let's get into the development of the game.
Game development.
Masahiro Sakurai.
Is the original creator.
This is not a HAL game, though. He left HAL, as I understand it.
Yeah, he left HAL. So this is a game that was actually developed for the Wii U the DS.
This
And
was for the DS?
Yeah, this is a reskin of Smash 4.
Are you
with-
sure?
Yeah, with a lot of stuff added to it.
Okay. The 5th installment.
Yep, and
the
it came out
franchise.
this year, 2018.
On December 7th.
So how many do they have in the franchise now? Is this number 5?
Yeah.
This is technically number 5. It's like 4.5 because it's not a new engine running the game.
Okay.
This is Smash 4's engine.
So can you just run me through the timeline real quick? Well, we don't have to do dates, but the original Super Smash Brothers for
Super Smash
64.
99, I think.
Right.
So for Nintendo 64,
Yep.
was Melee the second one?
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
And that was on GameCube.
Yep.
Yep.
And then there was Brawl on the Wii.
2008-ish, I think.
Okay.
And then there was Smash 4.
was it just called Smash 4?
It was called Smash Brothers Wii U or Smash Brothers 3DS, I think.
Yeah, it's whichever platform you got it for. It
They
was
dropped
Super
like
Smash
a,
Brothers.
like a name
Okay.
convention. They dropped the naming convention.
And then we have Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Ultimate now, yeah.
This one's going to be real quick. Let's get into the story.
Story.
All right, let's move on into the story. This is release weekend that we're recording this, and there's not a whole lot of story. Essentially, the story is contained in one of the game modes called World of Light. And in World of Light, you find out that there's this bean made of
A bean?
bean
Oh, okay.
of light that that's made of light that just pretty much like captures every single person in Smash except for Kirby.
Oh, of course.
Because you start the game as Kirby, and it's Kirby's mission to like go around and essentially wake everybody up. And what the entity, I forget the name of it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, they're in trouble.
It's real dark. No, so essentially what the villain is trying to do is make clones of all of the people and make them like puppets. So you go through these various different stages, and you're essentially looking for the original group of Smash players. What?
It's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the way you made it sound. Like they're putting their own puppet versions of people.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Invasion of the Nintendo characters.
Does that in any way tie back to the original, like with the floating hand? Wasn't that like a
Oh,
Puppet
so-
Master?
They're supposed to be
kind
like toys, though, weren't they? Like toys that came alive, almost like Toy Story, right?
Yeah. So Master Hand shows up in the opening cutscene, and there's thousands of them. Just like this light beam just
It's
controls
like a
all of them.
dream come true for Ralph.
Yeah. Ralph loves his hands.
Okay, yeah, because we were talking about Shiva and having 4 arms and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay, so you're making hand jokes
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
All right,
Real
Ralph,
funny.
calm down.
Real funny. Hundreds of white gloves on my crotch.
Yeah, pretty much you're just going and waking up all the fighters. And that's really the story. There's some light story elements
Well, it's about light, right?
in the classic mode. You play through the classic mode as Simon Belmont, and you get to fight Dracula at the end. There's kind of like bosses catered to the specific fighters and stuff like that. But other than that, this is a pretty story light game. There's not much to it. So I think we're just going to move on into gameplay.
Well, I did want to say that the fact that you choose Simon and then you do the classic mode and it seems sort of themed to him. I think that's really cool because that's new to the franchise as far as I know. I don't think there was anything like that in Smash 4, but the fact that they make them tailored to the characters just shows how much effort they put into it.
I don't know if every character is like that, though.
Really?
Simon's a new character, so it's easier for them to cater all of that stuff, too.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I don't know if it's everything.
We haven't done them all, obviously.
Yeah, we haven't-
done
yeah.
them all.
Quick little point I wanted to talk on story. and this isn't exclusive to Smash Brothers, but I think like Nintendo franchises as a whole are either very light on story or it has a very shallow story.
Let's save it for the Nintendo episode we're going to do eventually. You should save it for that.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. We're gonna start doing franchise and yeah. No. No, it's not a thing.
I don't know. When I think Nintendo, I don't think deep engrossing story though. The only game I could say is Earthbound, which I thought had a somewhat decent story, but that was many years ago.
Was that a Nintendo game? Did Nintendo make that?
No, it's HAL.
So no, it's not a Nintendo game.
So what you're saying is that when Mario has a new game and all he's doing is rescuing Peach, that's not deep enough for you?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I think it's shitty.
Well, Nintendo is classically a kid's system, so.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's true. No, it's
It is.
100% true.
Yeah.
There's very few M-rated games on most Nintendo systems.
I'm not arguing. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's tiered more towards kids. Not saying there aren't adult experience. Well, not adult,
Whoa.
but there aren't
Adult
mature.
experience.
There aren't that many mature experiences on Nintendo products.
No.
I thought you had a lot of Wii controller add-ons there. I wasn't sure why you had all those, but okay. Those adult mature games you got.
You can have those back, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Yeah, they're mine.
That's why there's four of them with hand accessories.
This is stupid now. This is just getting stupid.
One's a fist. Anyway, okay. All
Now
right.
it's 1-to-1.
All right, so let's hop into gameplay then.
Gameplay.
So, the Smash Brothers gameplay. Let's have somebody break it down from bedrock.
All right, so it's pretty much the same Smash gameplay that everyone is used to.
Well, what if I've never played Smash Brothers? I need you to describe it to me.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. No, we should not do that. It's a fucking fighting game.
It's a fighting game. Okay, there are platforms. As you take damage, your percentage increases,
Ralph,
and it's
no,
more
no.
likely for you to get thrown off screen. The end.
Sure.
But yeah, if you've played N64 Smash, you have the basics for this. It
Or
hasn't
any
changed.
Smash, really.
Yeah. It hasn't changed fundamentally that much, except for the Final Smash, if you play with items on. Final Smash came in, I think, in Brawl, and it's just like the Smash Brothers symbol. It glows in like a rainbow effect, and it hovers around the level, and if you are the last one to hit it, I guess it has like a health meter that's hidden. When you hit it, you get like an overpowered attack that can help you turn the tide of the battle or just defeat your immediate opponent.
Yeah, so not even that really is new.
No, it's not. It's not that new. It's about 10 years old, I guess. Well, 2008, I think, is when Brawl came out, so it's
No,
2018.
that's fine. I'm just saying, not only is it not new, it's pretty
10
old.
years old. It's
Yeah.
pretty old.
Yeah. So I like that there's a bunch of different game modes in this. I don't know about the other ones. I don't know if they have like all the in-depth game modes, but this has like classic mode, Smash mode, tournament mode,
Mob mode? Was there like a mob
Yeah,
mode or
there's a
something?
mob mode, World of Light, and there's just tons of fucking unlockables in this. So I'm going to just talk about World of Light for a second here.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that mode is you go around and you collect these spirits, and spirits essentially give you bonuses, and it's a rock, paper, scissors type game. So it's, attack beats technique, technique beats defense, defense beats attack in a triangle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the classic rock, paper, scissors
Yeah.
thing. And so then you can get like these sub spirits that can give you bonuses into a match for when you're running around in or in World of Light, but also you can play regular Smash with the spirits now, that you can bring them out of the mode once you create them in a set. It's really kind of interesting, so if you go to a level that's just kicking your ass and there's like poisonous fog, well, you can go unlock a spirit that takes away the poisonous fog part. So then you can go in there and you can gear yourself towards de-leveling or debuffing the stage that's set against you, or you can go in there buffed in an opposite way. Like, I like to start with a Babam, and I set up like a long smash that they'll go to the edge, and then I just chuck my Babam at them. And I want to say one out of every 3 times I do that, it'll connect and they'll just be dead instantly.
Gotcha.
So like there's cool little like combos and stuff like that you can make up with like the different spirit cards and stuff. It's pretty cool. And the spirit cards range from like anyone from like Jeff from Earthbound to I have Metal Gear Ray as well.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. But yeah, like I have like Metal Gear Ray as well. And they each have like different varying, like, oh, this one can have 3 mini spirits or 1 mini spirit with it and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like the systems that's established there. And then like running around the map is kind of interesting. Moving around the map on a big ass fucking 4K TV is a little rough. The same motion blur is not there when you're on the handheld, but man, that motion blur is rough on a TV. But yeah, I mean that's my favorite mode. I've been playing a ton of that since it came out, and I've just, I have like over like 80 or 90 nodes unlocked and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
The node. Touch the node.
Oh, and that mode also kind of forces you to play characters that you're not normally used to.
Right, okay. So there's an adventure mode in Melee and in Brawl that does a similar thing. Like based on the scenario, you're forced to play a different character to expand your horizons when it comes to what characters you'd like to use and let you experiment.
So when you start World of Light, you actually only have Kirby.
Right.
And you have to unlock them in World of Light to be able to use them. So you can have all of the characters unlocked through other means, like playing through challenge or classic mode and stuff like that. But if you go into World of Light, you only start with Kirby, and once you unlock them in World of Light, then you can play them.
Okay, right. You had said earlier that you had to unlock Link, and I was confused by that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I had to unlock Link there, and it kind of gives you some choices right off the bat. There's like, oh, you do like 3 with Kirby, and then there's like 3 different pathways that you can take, and it kind of gives you 3 different characters. Like, oh, who do you want to unlock next? I went with Marth, and I used Marth all the way until I got Snake, and now I'm just like running through the game with Snake. I did, however, unlock Simon in there, and I might start using Simon, because when we were playing just regular Smash today, Simon was getting it done.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they added Simon Belmont to this game, and that any talk of Castlevania gets me excited.
Yeah,
for the future. I mean,
I would honestly say, like from character perspective, I think Snake, Simon, and Marth are like my 3 go-tos. So what about you guys? We all played this for a while today, so I want to know your guys' thoughts. Favorite characters, things that you thought were interesting.
Well, going off of what you were just saying, I want to say that it seems like they're sprinkling in a lot of RPG elements to this franchise. Like they're adding depth to the fighting, and you had said several times that that's probably based on what the community had petitioned or asked for. So they've added depth to this game. There's pretty much a standard, like, okay, here's your character. That character is fixed. Like his speed is fixed, how much of a percentage this attack does and that attack does, and that's it. Like, young Link is a little bit quicker than regular Link, but he doesn't hit as hard. That's fixed. With these RPG elements and these spirits, it seems like you can really sort of mix and match and tailor and make what you want. And then on top of that, this story mode where it's sprawling and it's like an open world that you can choose where you want to go and who you want to unlock. It's surprising to me that it's that much like an RPG, even though it's nowhere near a traditional JRPG. It's just, I'm surprised at the depth that they've added. So it's not really 4.5. It seems like they took the engine for 4, like you said, and then they just dumped like all this extra stuff on it. So to go off of what I was saying before, it really is worth a rebuy. The gameplay feels, it feels just as fresh as it did for Smash 4. Picking your characters and you can go straight in, and you don't have to consider any immediate changes. So there's no learning curve for a character that you're familiar with, which you wouldn't expect there to be. I do like that you can tailor the levels to what you want. If you want them to be their full-blown, okay, this is a floating platform that's going to change, and it's going to move, and it's going to bob and weave, and you have to adapt to the level, or do you want to have it where it's just the regular three pillars, or the 3 platforms, one on the left and one on the right and one in the center? Or do you want it to just be a regular flat platform where there's no bullshit, it's just you fighting your opponents? I really like that you can tailor that. I mean, I love the fact that there are so many characters, so many different levels that I haven't even seen. Like, we were playing for hours on random, and it was like every level was new and was fresh. Harry, what do you got?
So I will say I was a little overwhelmed starting out today. Like, new controller, new game.
Oh, yeah.
New characters that I've never played with before. Like, it's a lot all at once.
I handed Harry one of my Switch Pro controllers, and he was like, "Oh, Nintendo game with like a real controller? What the fuck is this?"
Ha 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 ha.
That's true. They haven't had a regular controller since the Super Nintendo.
They've had some really weird fucking
Since the
controllers.
GameCube.
No, they didn't have a regular.
GameCube was a
GameCube is a
weird.
fantastic controller. Are,
It's
are we
dumb.
really going to do this? Are we
It's
going to do
dumb.
this?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's a
It's one
bad.
of the
It's a
best
weird
controllers ever made.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
no fucking way.
Put this in your hand.
He just carries
Hold
around
it.
a GameCube
Hold it.
controller.
Feel it. Touch the nubbies.
Yeah, no, I own a GameCube, but it's still not my favorite.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
would
don't
say-
like this whole C-pad.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
All right, give me that back. Give
Here's
me
the
that.
thing.
Give me that.
I would say that the Wavebird is definitely one of the best Nintendo controllers ever, except for the Pro for the Switch, because that one's
Also good.
far superior. And then all of those controllers are behind like every fucking controller that Microsoft has made, and then every fucking controller PlayStation's made.
So anyway, the point I was trying to get to.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Sorry, we derailed a little bit.
So what really helped me kind of get back into this game is playing with some of the classic characters that I've known and loved, and they haven't changed their move sets, which was nice. Like all the Captain Falcon's moves are like exactly the same. So it's like copy and paste when they're carrying these characters over from game to game to game. They're staying the same. They're just adding new characters. So it kind of helped me get a little bit more on board with this game because I still had to learn the controller, but at least knowing the move sets for some of these older characters, it kind of made the transition a little easier for me.
It also didn't help that we were playing team battle 3 versus 5 with varying difficulty levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks cool when you have 8 fucking
Oh, it
characters.
does. It absolutely does.
Now, as far as the gameplay goes, the most frustrating aspect, though, I will say, is being able to follow your character. The screen's shaking, the map's changing, there's fucking all these blips and characters all over the screen.
Items, Pokemon, Pokeballs,
Exactly.
all
Like
that.
I feel like a lot of my deaths are due to me not being able to follow my character.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Fair argument.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's a frustrating.
I think that's a criticism on Smash as a whole. That I feel like that's always been the issue, except for maybe like the 64. But as soon as they could like really ramp up what could happen on the screen,
It shot up exponentially with having 8 characters on the screen plus the other shit, though.
Oh, for
like
sure.
with 4 characters, it's a little bit more manageable. It happens here and there, but today it was a couple times per match I would lose track of my
it was
character.
happening to me too, and I've been playing that one, all weekend. Like,
There's just so much going on. It's so chaotic. That actually helped a bit when we were playing the static maps as opposed to the evolving level.
Yeah,
Oh,
we,
right.
Yeah, we should have started you off with like 1v1 on like a simple map and go
1v1.
from there. What you versus the computer?
Yeah,
One-on-one.
Yeah, but when it comes to Smash, it's not about 1v1. It's definitely have to be at least 4.
At least 4?
on
Okay.
the screen.
All right,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
That's the true way to play.
we're not
Smash.
playing a competition here.
That's
so.
the true way, he says. Hasn't played a game since 1999. That's the true way to play.
No, we had a Smash party back at the old apartment at one point.
Yeah, it's
we
true.
had
I
like
remember.
3 or 4 TVs hooked up with Smash.
I remember Eddie was pretty good.
I do like how and this isn't very unique comment, but I do like that you can tailor the options, and it seems like they add more and more options to tailor each game. Because I remember when we used to play on 64, you can adjust the percentage of items that would jump in, what items you wanted to play with,
Oh,
and
yeah.
what items you don't. Like if everybody agreed, Pokeballs are broken, or just for example, like you
Yeah.
could turn that specific item off.
right.
But no, even seeing like the options for changing the levels today, I thought like was pretty fascinating. And there's like 3 or 4 different options per level. You have the like Omega, the classic stage, or whatever.
Oh yeah,
now.
the battlefield.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Ralph started getting into that
Yeah.
a little bit. It just like they took the customization like just to a whole new level with this game. So you can really tailor the battles the way you want to play them.
You can tell me if I'm wrong here, but I really think that since Melee came out, they've been trying to make a game that could be used competitively to outdo Melee. Like the call for Melee to go on, and the GameCube in some respects, has been so strong. Like you can buy little HDMI adapters that were made just for the GameCube, and I saw them being used a lot for Melee competitions at Too Many Games in Oaks this summer. Like that would to me, it seemed like that was the primary reason that thing existed, was for competition level Smash Brothers Melee, because Melee was still the standard when it came to their competitions. I believe Brawl didn't get that warm reception because they added tripping. Did you know about that, Clark?
Yeah, I did. I had heard about that. I never became really well versed at it.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it works, but I think at a random, it was like a random element to the fight, your character would just trip on something. Almost like it would just like, you're going through and everything's fine, and then bloop, your character would trip. Almost like it was there to balance the fight, but it doesn't, I don't
that's
know.
Awful.
Yeah, that sounds annoying.
Yeah, so they have never gone back to using that. And 4, I think, was really good, but I guess it's still not being used in competition level. But you get this feeling that they're trying to outdo Melee. Like, Melee is their standard, and they're just trying to outdo it. And they might have finally reached the zenith of what a Smash Brothers game can be, and that's probably part of the reason they named it Ultimate. They don't feel like they can do more after this.
There's a couple things I wish they would polish up with the game a little bit.
Okay.
Movement specifically. Now, when let's say you move left or right on like one of your standard platforms, you move an increment. You don't just move at a steady pace, if that makes sense. Like if I hit left, like pixel wise, I'm gonna go about an inch and a half to the left. So if you're trying to go pick up an item, I found myself dashing to the left side of it, to the right side of it, like, and never being like right on that item.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I found that kind of frustrating at times, just like the movement in general. And I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with some critiques that I experienced today.
Oh, no. I'm not.
It's honest.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, like, yeah, it's not the super intuitive, like, I just press left and go left. It's, you kind of have to, like, it is weird. It's like that you lock into like these weird, like,
Yeah, no, you lock towards the edges too. Like if you hit
Yeah.
over, like it'll like hard lock you on the sides so you don't just fall off. But then if you hit again, like, you know what I mean? Like there's like these
Nuance.
weird, just like the physics of movement in the game can be frustrating until you master like and like expect certain things to happen.
The sticking on the lip, it's actually really funny. There is a spirit card for no lipstick. Literally, that's what the
Yeah.
power up's
Oh
called.
my
No lipstick.
God.
But
Why would you want that? You wouldn't want that. You want to be able to stick to that lip. You want to stick all day long.
No, I just thought it was funny because then you can just run off of the edges and do what you need to do instead of sticking.
Oh, so you don't mean like you're trying to recover and like grab a
No,
ledge?
you can still grab. You can still grab the ledge, but you don't stick to it. So if you run off the edge, you're running off the edge. There's no buffer to be like, "Oops, stop for a second and
Okay.
then go."
Okay, I gotcha. No lipstick. Got it.
Yeah. How many times did you experience doing a move that threw yourself off an edge instead of just being hit by a character? You basically killed yourself.
Well, that goes into the B attack, doesn't it? So like if you're trying to, let's say you're trying to jump and you're jumping and then you need to do an additional jump, you can do up in B with most characters or any direction in B, and that'll give you like a secondary jump. But after you've done that, it's like you've exhausted your stamina and you're in free fall. So learning and knowing where your character will be once you've finished your B attack so that you're safe to do that free fall takes time.
It does. I don't think this is a game you could ever master all characters because they're so diverse. Like movement alone, like with the range of their movement, the speed of their movement, what their jump abilities are. Like, because a lot of them have, like, Kirby could jump like 8 times with that balloon thing. Certain characters are like twice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like there's a set template of movement among all the characters. That was the best terminology I could think
No,
of.
I see what you're saying. I have this distinct memory of playing Ganondorf for the first time and being like, oh, he's Captain Falcon, just slower and stronger. Like, there's no connection between Captain Falcon and Ganondorf, but when they made his character, you really started to see that, okay, this is kind of a template. And every character has the same sort of, if you hold a direction in A, you can do like a smash attack.
But they
you
all
can
have
get-
different ranges and speeds too.
They do. That's fair. But I just wanted to say that I got to the point where I felt like I could be pretty good with any character, not today. I just mean in general with Smash. I could be pretty good with any character based on that template. Now that there are 70 characters, it would just take a lot longer.
Again, I see a lot of people talk about this when they talk about Smash is they're like, hey, I'm good with all of these characters, but if you give me one of these random characters, I am either middling or absolute shit. So that's why, like, today when we were playing, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do random and just see how, like, I know how the controls work for, like, every character, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, where, like, I know what this direction and this means for, you know, it has, smash left, smash right, up smash, down smash. So, yeah, I think there are totally characters that I am absolute shit with, and there's some that I'm, like, middling with, and there's some that I'm really fucking good with. Like, when we were playing 3v5 and I was getting 13 smashes in our games, like, it's fun. I had a blast playing today. I kind of hope we can do this again, just not for a recording, like, actually
I'm
sit
down.
down and play.
I'm down. I do want to say, though, we were playing mostly in that format, the 3 versus 5. So some characters really are better for handling a group or for fighting multiple enemies versus being good one-on-one. I can't really think of a character who's really good for one-on-one, you know, off the top of my head, but certain characters like Link's good for crowds, Donkey Kong's good for crowds. Who were you going to say for one-on-one?
I think Snake's actually amazing for one-on-one.
Oh, yeah?
Again, this is like just like a preference thing, but like during the World of Light stuff, like I can juggle people with missiles. Like I can get another missile to them as they're recovering or like as they're getting back to the ledge, so that as soon as they come up off the edge, they're getting hit with a missile and getting shot out, and then it's like another missile's out there, and I'll hit them before they can even get the ledge grab the second time.
I think you can control Samus's missiles a little bit. Did you play
Yeah.
around with that at all?
No,
I
no.
was playing around with that. It seemed like they were curving up because maybe I was hitting up
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers like curve though. Like you can do full 180s with the missiles from Snake.
Because it's like, what is it? The
It's
Stinger?
the Nikita missile.
Oh, the Nikita. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Nikita from Metal Gear Solid.
This isn't like a criticism towards your playstyle or anything.
Mhm.
But you
Oh,
said
do
like
it,
shooting,
man. Do it.
You said like shooting the missile after missile after missile. What's good about this? So this doesn't take place in all fighting games, but almost unique to this is the percentage damage goes down as you spam the same attack over and over again, which is like a fundamental thing of Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Does it?
It does.
Wait, really?
So-
That's happened since the 64 version.
Wait,
So,
wait,
fun
wait.
fact-
Go back. Say
Fun
this
fact,
again.
because you have to navigate Snake's missile, and because it's so slow, it doesn't get that damage reduction.
You're gonna navigate Snake's missile?
Yep. Anyway, so
I would double check that.
yeah, the damage wasn't changing. But he can't spam it like Fox's gun. Fox sits there and goes do 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 do.
What does it do?
Were you not paying attention?
Do.
So like yeah, his damage reduction is like minimal if anything.
I don't think I ever noticed that.
I'm just saying, like, when I used to play, like, if you spam Fireball with Mario, start out at, like, 6% damage per Fireball, but then if you did it, like, 20 times in a row, it's down to, like, 1% per Fireball.
Interesting.
Maybe it is only special attacks or certain attacks, but I think it is to get away from somebody spamming the same attack over and over again. Back to the crowd control, though. I mean, you can disagree with me if you want, but I found Captain Falcon was good for groups, just because a lot of his attacks were cut across the screen.
Yeah.
Like his Falcon kick on a platform, cut across the whole platform, or coming down at an angle, or it just, I don't know. I found that he was a very...
Maybe the way I should say is that some characters have better area of attacks, and some characters are really more of a one-on-one, like Marth, or any. Well, I wouldn't say anybody with a sword has an advantage, but like if you're using just regular Mario, like he's not good against fighting in a long range sense. Like you have to get pretty close to somebody to do a hard attack with Mario to get them to fly off the screen. Like there aren't really large area of attack moves that you can do with him.
They all have like group attacks, though, I want to say, because even with Mario, I don't know what the control is, but he does this little like whirlwind spin.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you can get characters trapped in that, you can keep spamming that on like a group of characters and just keep popping them up in the sky, I
think that's his up smash.
It used to be like down in B, because he does like a tornado, like almost like a Tasmanian devil type spin.
I don't know.
But yeah, I honestly I had a blast playing with you guys today. It was fun.
It was fun. It's a very, very carefree game.
It was a real
Yeah.
smash.
Good one.
It was a smashing good, it was a smashing good time.
It was.
Should we move on into graphics?
Sure.
All right, guys, let's move into graphics.
Go for it. Go for it again. Go for it one more time. I'm not saying don't do it, but just give us another one.
All right, guys, let's move into graphics.
I'm sorry. I'm
Like,
sorry.
we
You
can
said the
keep this.
exact same thing.
Go with it, man. Go with it.
All
Just
right,
be
guys.
quiet.
All right, guys, let's move into graphics.
It's depressing. Anybody else want to slit their wrist right now?
Stop listening to Radiohead and let's do this.
All right, guys, let's move into graphics.
Thanks to Joel. He loves his A sound.
Graphics.
X.
This
Graphics,
game is-
graphics. Sorry.
Kid seats are still just $5.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate on Sunday.
Sunday.
God.
Graphics.
I think the game looks incredible, especially with everything that they have going on and how small everything's getting. They're very, very still detailed on the screen. And, like, the backgrounds, the worlds, they all look incredible. And
Can you give us some context between TV and handheld versions? Or tell us what it's like? Or have you mostly done docked?
it's mostly been in the docking station.
Okay.
And so I don't look at, like, I don't play my Switch handheld much. Yeah, I don't play my Switch in handheld mode much. I could see it getting pretty busy on the handheld.
Oh, yeah.
With how crazy some of the screens get, I could see it being a little bit of an issue. But I gotta say, like, the frame rate, I didn't really notice too many frame dips. I mean, Ralph, you were saying that you saw some. I didn't really notice them that much. I mean, there were some effects that slow down the
That's
game.
the thing, right? That's the thing.
So it's hard to tell when one of those is happening or it's
Right.
an actual dip in frame rate.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think the game looks gorgeous and the design is really done well. And I love in the World of Light that the entire map is hand drawn. I love that. That is incredible to me.
Like concept art that
Yeah,
you're playing with.
it's
Yeah.
literally you're running around on concept art. It's really fucking cool. It actually reminds me of when Harry used to, like, DM our D&D campaigns. Harry would draw everything. This is, like, way back when you used to actually, like, draw everything out onto a map, and then we would, like, move our characters around it. I always
It was
always
a lot
appreciated
of
that.
work.
Oh, it was.
Oh.
That battle mat was, like, the best investment you ever made, where we could just write it
Yeah,
all
but
on.
it did take something away from the game, not having
Yeah.
colored maps to play on.
Yeah, it's true.
I miss playing D&D.
Me too.
It just doesn't happen. We tried so many times to get it started again.
We should...
Something I've seen a natural evolution of among the games is the background never used to be very interactive. Like, there would be moving objects and shit in the distance, but it seems like the arenas are becoming more and more of, like, a focal point of the battles. And I say that maybe very specific levels, but a lot of them are moving and platforms are disappearing or the map's rotating or it's transitioning to other maps. Like, the classic games, that really wasn't much of a thing. Like, it would be pretty static and maybe would flow back and forth a little bit, but this was, like, all over the place. At times, I think, like, I'll be honest, I think some of the maps are a little much. Like that WarioWare arena, I think that's...
Or the moving level, the Game Boy one was a little much.
That was a little much. Even the one that was, like, spinning around was kind of difficult. That was not an easy thing to navigate when it started moving. Because it wasn't even, like, a slow move. That thing was kind of... That was trucking, man.
That was
That was Samus level.
Yeah, it was one of the Metroid levels where the platform itself would rotate around and we had to adjust. Yeah.
But that's even new, the full rotation, because that's an older map.
Yeah.
But it used to just move, tilt up, and...
Wouldn't the lava come up too, I think?
Yeah, the lava would come up and you
Yeah.
tilt up to the... It would just tilt up to the left or tilt up to the right. Now it does full fucking 360s,
Yeah.
and that was nuts.
Yeah, to me that takes away from the fighting aspects of the game when the level does that.
Yeah, because sometimes you can lose because of the level, not so much
Yeah.
your skill in fighting, more or
Right.
less. I found that was actually a big component of this game. And, like, some of my biggest downfalls were because of the arena. Like, remember that one match that I just, like... Because the platform just disappeared. And I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, you just two quick stocks, just boom. Harry's like, ah, damn it, and then another one is like, what the fuck?
Player defeated.
Yeah,
Player
it's just-
defeated.
That was because there's so many maps too. Like, there's an insane amount.
It's a learning curve on its own.
Yeah, it is. But like I just have seen like from the classic Super Smash Brothers to now, like the arena is such a big part of the battles now. Unless you change it. Again, they leave those options open in the customization. But as like a default, the maps are a little rough. Not to say they're not pretty though. Like graphically they look really cool. It's just there's a lot of shit going on and the battles are very intense to begin with. It's very chaotic at times, and maybe sometimes a little too chaotic for my liking.
I feel like I got the angel and the devil here sitting on my shoulder between the two of you. But I have to agree that why are you looking at me like that? Because you love it. you love it, and Harry is like bringing up all these negative points. Is what I mean. So
I'm just trying to make it an interesting conversation.
No, I
like
know.
if we're all like, I find those
gush.
Yeah, gush.
Shiva.
Gush.
Goro Shiva. Anyway, I continue to be impressed with what the Switch can do when it comes to this, because when I first got the Switch, I noticed that Breath of the Wild really couldn't hack it in some points in docked mode. It would just start to chug and I would lose frames. But in handheld mode, everything ran perfectly. So I'd be curious to see, if you've got eight characters on the screen on handheld mode, how good it looks. Because I mean, you said it before, Clark. We were talking in passing. You said, "Oh, you mean the Nintendo NVIDIA Shield, which is basically what the system seemed to be at that point." This is before you bought one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
What?
Did I say what toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
You said what?
What
In the butt.
Anyway,
What?
I found that yes, it was hard to tell. Okay, is this like an effect or is the game slowing down because of how much is happening at once? And it really didn't seem like the hardware couldn't handle the software. I didn't get that impression at all. And everything was sharp, fast, fluid, and well designed. I think the game looks great. I really can't come up with any faults graphically at all. I can't see anything that looks bad except Duck Hunt's in the game and it's stupid. That's about it.
I like Duck Hunt.
Oh, no, wait. What was one of the colors? Little Max got too many colors. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's talk about
Little Mac.
Yeah. So we decided to do 8 Little Macs in a fucking game, and it was chaos.
It was pretty fun.
There's just everyone in pink and green in different variations. One's wearing hoodies, one's not wearing hoodies. It was absolute chaos. But I had a lot of fun with it. Harry's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Oh." And you just hear the announcer on the Switch, Little Mac, Clark, Little Mac, Clark, Little Mac. Oh God,
That'd
Little
be
Mac.
cool. That'd probably be a cool match to do with a lot of different characters. Just everything the same. Like
8
all
Yoshis.
Oh God,
8 links. Yeah.
that's how you make a chain.
Oh my God. You were trolling me earlier for my jokes, and this is what you said. How do you form a chain? A bunch of links.
I just interrupted the podcast with that. Nobody knows how
It's
to recover.
really
It's
worth
cool.
it.
It's cool
It's really
if
worth
we
it.
did it with all peaches. It would be that United States President's song. I killed it. So go ahead.
Hail
Trying to
the
transition into
chief.
music.
He's the chief and he needs hailing. Hail to the peach. No, I don't know.
What?
What are you
What?
What are you talking about?
I hate you so much right now.
Me?
No, him.
Oh,
Hail to the peach. Fucking what?
What president song are you talking about?
Oh
the
my
song
God. Millions
by
of
the
peaches.
band. Yeah,
Peaches for me.
millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
Okay, I thought you said the president though.
Yeah, it's
The band.
Whoops.
Hail to the peach.
Hail to the peach.
It didn't make any sense. That's why I said it. I don't have anything else to say about
No,
graphics.
I don't either.
I think it looks fantastic. It's polished. Nintendo did a great job. They actually didn't make it.
I do have one more comment to say.
Yeah.
I think it would have been easy to clusterfuck up the menu, but I think the menu interface is actually nice and clean looking
Yeah.
with all the the sub menus and everything.
Yeah,
It could have gotten out of control very quickly with how many options you can customize, but I think they did a well job with that. Or a good job. Or,
So just start again.
good
a
job.
well good job. A well jolly good job, sir.
Jolly good.
Jolly good. No, I agree, actually. Like, they never really put out more than, like, 5 or 6 clickable items on a screen at a time for all the menus, and I can appreciate that as well. Especially trying to, like, set that all up for us today. Like, I was like, oh, God. Like,
Yeah.
I was, like,
God.
worried. Oh, God. Oh, God, Shiva.
Woody Allen.
No, I was going for more of a JFK because we're still talking about presidents.
Hail to the beach.
Hail to the beach. Speaking of the president of the United States, let's move into music.
Music.
Music was okay.
Hundreds of Nintendo themes.
Yeah,
Music's great.
we stopped at a GameStop, and the lady at GameStop was explaining to Ralph that you can pretty much turn your Switch into like a MP3 player for like the 700 songs that are on here with all of the different Nintendo music, and I saw Ralph's pants get tighter.
Jeez, man.
Just instantaneous erection.
I was intentionally looking at you and going like,
So you were looking at his crotch. Ralph was looking at your eyes. It was
oh God!
this weird moment between you two.
No, because I know his secret. I'm not going to make eye contact because he woulda came.
My secret. Look, it's just great that they have that kind of a mode for this game because there's so many Nintendo themes that you can just listen to the whole library at once like that. I think that's great. It's an added thing. They didn't have to do that.
I was excited to hear the battle theme from Final Fantasy VII. That was kind of cool.
Oh,
to
when we
hear
got
in
on
the
that
game.
level?
Yeah, that I thought that was pretty cool. Is there a Midgard level in the game that maybe we didn't experience today, or
We were on the Midgard level.
was that the Midgard level?
Yeah.
There might be more
Yeah.
than one. I don't know for sure.
I don't know.
Well, that didn't resonate with me. I got the music, but I guess the level didn't like pop
Isn't it?
for me.
Isn't it? What's the first real boss that you fight after you've done like the power plant bomb? The second one, there's like this robot that you have to fight.
With the tail, right?
Yeah,
And you can't attack
Scorpion.
it when the tail's up.
I think that is what the level is. We could double check it, obviously. And sorry, listeners, if we're not right on that. We played it. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, the level only came up once in all of our random stuff, but essentially it's the reactor
Yes, thank you.
in the background.
That would have been cool. Like, what was it, Cloud 9 or Cloud 7 or what the fuck was that bar? Oh, it's so long since I played that game. I
Tifa's bar?
Tifa's bar.
I don't remember what it's called.
I can't.
I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know why it would be Cloud 7.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be too like on the nose.
Yeah. And
Cloud
9
7.
Cloud 9 is like a strip club, so I don't think it was that.
You need to stop spending time at Pump Town and Divas XL, Harry.
Pump Town. Oh, that's a classy joint.
Oh man.
I like how they have mirrors all the way around that strip club.
Welcome to where we're going.
So you
Listen
can
to our
just,
Nintendo.
so if
themed
you
episode,
want to
Strip
feel
Club.
shame instantly, you just look at the wall.
Yeah, you just look up.
Shame.
You just look up from your beer and you're staring back at yourself and you're like, "Fuck!" I
Oh,
haven't shaved in
God!
days."
Yeah, that's how you make eye contact with yourself so you can instantly come.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Oh man. Yeah, I like the addition of all the different music in here. I think the music's great in this. I like that they really went out and tried to get a couple songs from each franchise and threw them in here, and they're like classics. So, do we want to get into our final thoughts?
No, I did want to say, I believe when we did the Simon Belmont run, like there were a couple songs that I was like, ooh, wait a minute, this is like a remix of, Bloody Tears or some of the Castlevania themes. Like they have the original stuff, I think, in that gallery that you can listen to, and then they have like their own remixed, revamped, modernized versions of classic themes that just really get me excited. It's good shit. Hey, you got Nintendo music? Let me see.
Well, I like that you're embracing it now.
Yeah. All right, let's move into final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
They knocked it out of the park. Like it was a sandbag, and you had a limited amount of time to beat that sandbag to get a high percentage, and then take the bat and swing for the fences. Yeah, they nailed it. They whooped that challenge. They knocked it out of the park. This the little bit that I've played, I haven't put 20 hours into the game. The little bit that I've played this weekend has sold me on the fact that this is a fantastic Smash, that this could potentially dethrone Melee as the Smash to go to for tournaments or just for fun or what have you. We didn't even talk about online, which I guess the Wii U version had some online elements, and I believe the 3DS had like local online stuff through Wi-Fi, but
I heard the online for this is actually really bad right now.
Is it? That doesn't really surprise me. Any game that launches online,
Could be overloaded
weekend.
with people playing it. It's still really
Apparently, there's
new.
not a lot of options.
Oh, okay. But it's there for you if you wanted to do it. If you wanted to get on and try to play, a little bit competitively with strangers and other players. I'm guessing your same challenge level, your experience level. I don't know if it's tiered at all or anything like that, but
Oh, that's a good point. I wonder how they rate that or how they pair you up online.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
they nailed it.
Harry?
So what I gathered, and I feel like this is like a strong point with the Nintendo console in general. Nintendo knows how to make multiplayer games that I don't feel like Microsoft or Sony can really match with at this point. Like they just and I don't mean just multiplayer game, but I mean like local multiplayer, like the old sitting next to your buddy on a couch playing a video game type of scenario. Like that it's like a lost convention of gaming these days, and it's very depressing. I find this game specifically, I think, benefits from like the whole multiplayer aspect. I can't foresee myself spending hours on end just playing solo. Like this is the kind of, you get your friends together at a party and just kind of sit down and play this game. But it was a fun experience. Despite what I said earlier, like I do fully intend on playing some more. Like, and one thing I've always liked about games like this, the amount of unlockables, and there is a shit ton of unlockables in this game. It's just always something exciting to kind of play for and strive for, to just get all these unlockables. And just having that many characters alone is really exciting, and it's exciting to see where they'll go in the future with this as well. Like, what other characters are they going to add into the franchise? Overall, I guess it's a very early impression of the game, but I did enjoy my time with it today.
You could say it's a very initial impression.
Go ahead, Clark.
So this is my first Smash Brothers game that I've bought. I was incredibly excited for it, and as it got closer and closer, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up. I really debated is it going to be worth it, and having picked it up and really just getting to the nitty gritty of it throughout the weekend, I'm having a blast. I think it's a great game, and I agree with you, Ralph. I think they just knocked it out of the fucking park. All right, guys, let's get into the scores.
The score.
Ralph, go ahead with your score.
Well, if it isn't already obvious, my score is going to be a gushing all over this game. It's great. Feels good. Good. Real good.
And my rating is going to be a definite buy.
Buy it, play it, love it.
Buy it if you like Smash Brothers. Buy it if you have 3 friends that you like to play games with.
Buy it if you don't have any friends.
Question, actually, talking about the multiplayer now. Can you hook up more than 4 controllers to one console? Like, could you do 8 local players in a room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's phenomenal. All right, so I'm going to give it a 7.5, which is going to tie with Parasite Eve, XCOM 2, and Fallout 3.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for our
Game!
Thank you for joining us for our Super Smash Brothers Ultimate review. Leave a comment and like on our Facebook or Instagram, and we will see you for the next one.
You want to announce the next game, Mr. Clark?
All right, guys, and stay tuned for Metal Gear Solid 2 as our next review.
The Lower New York Harbor. Snake.
All right, stay sexy.
What he said, I guess.
Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over.
Thanks for listening to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Stay up to date on our Facebook at facebook.com/superfunpodcast.